So this is my 2007 Honda CRV EX. I do have fog lights that I've installed on these. These are non-OEM fog lights. Got them for about 50 bucks on Amazon. I don't remember the name of the company off the top of my head. They didn't come with instructions. I had to watch a couple videos on YouTube to actually figure out how to install these. And then the wiring harness was also very confusing, which I'll actually take you guys through today. So this isn't an installation video. This is more about figuring out the wiring harness situation. So the fog lights work. I can promise you that. If I come around here, as you can see, most of the videos actually have instructions on how to install it with the stock light switch or the stock switch. But my fog lights came with a harness that actually have this push switch, the switch right here. So they don't work when the daytime running lights are on, but as soon as I turn off or turn on the main headlights, there is a slight orange glow. I don't know if you can see that in the daytime, but they are now on. There's also a really big question about whether these would work with like high beams, and indeed they do. I can show you just as proof. There you are. This is what they look like. I did get LED bulbs installed in them. They did come with standard halogens, but I wanted something a little bit better than that. So the main confusion kind of rests with the harnesses themselves, as far as the connectors and the wires that come with it. Mine came with two standard plugins for the fog lights themselves, and then a brown 1-pin connector. And some people have been having issues, including myself, trying to find where that actually is. Even now, like I'm trying to look for it. But here, let me see. I know it's under the fuse box, and it's going to be a brown connector. See if I can find it real quick. I believe that's it right there. It's basically a 1-pin connector. Ah, there it is. So that brown connector actually plugs into basically an open port that, you know, gets really dirty and grimy, and so a lot of people can't actually find it. It took me a couple hours actually to figure out exactly what I was connecting this thing to, if I had to maybe strip the wire, but it is there. It's just that a lot of people, with having, you know, older CRVs with a lot of wear and tear on them and dirt and grime getting in, they're not able to find it, but it is there. For the 3rd generation model CRV, it is there. So there's that brown connector that basically connects directly into the fuse box. And then we'll come around to the inside of the car and show you exactly what I did. So my relay or slash harness came like so. It has this blue plug-in right here. You can see at the top, that blue one right there. And then it comes with this gray connector, which I couldn't figure out for the life of me until I went on the Honda forums. And so this gray connector right here is actually going to connect it into this little port. And the only way to find this port is if you take off all of this plastic housing that runs along this side skirt right here. You have to take all of this off to actually be able to find this small little port where the gray one goes. I watched another installation video recently. I think it's in Spanish. I'm not a Spanish speaker, but that was a really, really great video. But something that they actually missed was that there is actually a plug-in for this. You don't have to snip this off and then mate two red wires together and then, you know, bring it through the firewall or whatever. You actually don't have to do any of that if you get a harness similar to this. It actually plugs into this, you know, this gray port right here. Which I was very, very confused. This part right here was self-explanatory. As far as grounding, that was also self-explanatory. I've got it screwed into this little, you know, bolt right here. It was a very easy thing to do. This is the relay. I haven't really fastened it correctly to the plastic on the underside yet, but for now it works. And then as far as the other wires go, when the kit was first packaged, there was a lot more wiring or electrical tape that was around this, and it wouldn't actually reach where the switch housing is. So I had to rip out some of the some of this electrical tape here to actually get everything to reach, and I might clean some things up. But the only other port that you'll find is that green plug-in, and that green plug-in goes directly into the switch, and then you just have to feed it through and it should work. So really the main two things that, again, people have maybe been having problems with is this switch right here, or this plug-in right here, and the brown plug-in that's on the other side. I think that this wiring harness is a very common thing found on Amazon, and thus a lot of people, especially with them being cheap and not having instructions, people have been getting really stuck on this. But the reality is that it's actually a pretty easy setup. You just have to find these ports and just clean everything up on the inside. Perfectly good working headlights or fog lights. You do not have to spend $500 taking this to the Honda Center or a dealership to get these installed. You do not have to buy OEM headlights unless you're really into that. I can understand reasons for that. Again, there is space. There's a pretty gnarly gap right here, which I'm not happy about, but I might be able to fix that up. And I'd like to imagine that these probably will not last as long as OEM fog lights. But this was a pretty easy thing to do, and I hope that this video helps anybody else that's been having some confusion and trouble. All right, thanks guys.